Well, we've gotten a couple updates on some players being linked with Major League Soccer, some big outgoing sells for the Colorado Rapids, selling Lucas Herrington for a record fee, Kevin De Bruyne coming to Major League Soccer, Romelu Lukaku listed with another MLS team, not New York City this time. A lot of things are picking up. August is going to be a hectic, crazy month for the MLS transfer rumor mill, and we're going to break it down all right here. So let's get to the first rumor. And this one has kind of irked me a little bit just because of, hey, real quick, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The 2026 MLS season part 2 has officially started. We got the transfer window. We got the MLS Cup playoffs at the end of the year and everything in between you guys are not going to want to miss. So please make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. How nonsensical it is. Like, people have to just read in between the lines, right? So there's been rumors the last couple days. I'm pulled this up from Polymarket. Just in, Kevin De Bruyne is being linked with a move to MLS this summer. Inter Miami are amongst the clubs interested in signing him. There was another report saying that Kevin De Bruyne was signing with Inter Miami, that the deal was in advanced negotiations. All these things that just make no sense whatsoever. It's not happening. And we'll talk about here in a second. Fabrizio Romano, what he reported, he said, Inter Miami are not negotiating for Kevin De Bruyne, despite reports. Same for Juan Fernando Quintero. So Kevin De Bruyne has been linked with MLS for several years now. Last year, he was heavily linked with the Chicago Fire, and he was heavily linked with San Diego FC. I'm not really sure who owns his discovery rights. I would assume it's one of those two teams. My guess would probably be San Diego, but it could be the Chicago Fire. Still a stupid rule, but just, those are the rules. So there's so many reasons why this wouldn't make any sense. First of all, Inter Miami would have to trade for his rights, okay? We just saw the whole entire fiasco with them and the LA Galaxy signing Casemiro, him wanting to go to LA, then him changing his mind going to Inter Miami. This would be a similar thing. It would be another PR disaster for them just to get this whole thing done. So that's one thing, right? Another thing too, and this is probably the most logical thing for me, is why would they sign Kevin De Bruyne? They're going to have a midfield of Rodrigo De Paul, Casemiro, and Kevin De Bruyne, an average age of 33 and a half, 34. They would have no defensive help at all in the midfield. They would get killed in the midfield. It would be an absolute disaster. So it doesn't make any sense. They're not going to have two aging midfielders in Rodrigo De Paul. That's just not going to happen. So stylistically, it makes zero sense for Inter Miami to use resources on him to do this. Why would they do that? Why would they sign Kevin De Bruyne when they just signed Casemiro? That makes no sense whatsoever. And if Kevin De Bruyne was coming to MLS, it would most definitely be another team, which we'll get to in a second. And the third thing, too, is financially. How would Inter Miami make this work? They did sell Benjamin Kramaski. I don't think they sold anyone else since, and if they have, it's slipping my mind. But they have a little bit of allocation money because of the sell of Benjamin Kramaski. I don't really know how they would fit this under the cap. And I know people will joke and say, well, they don't have a cap. They do whatever they want. Well, it's not true. They have general allocation money left. Like, probably, I don't know how much they have left after the signing of Casemiro, but I don't know how they would make this work. There's no way they'd be able to make this work. And Kevin De Bruyne is not taking a discount like Casemiro is to come to MLS. By the way, there's been reports that Casemiro is actually not taking a discount, and next year he'll be a DP. So we'll see how that works out too. But this is fun rumors. Maybe if the salary cap was the new proposed rules, this would happen. But there's just no way this can happen. There's no way. This is not feasible to happen. It's a joke. I knew it was when I heard it. Even if people would like to see it, it's not possible. It will not happen. Kevin De Bruyne will not play for Inter Miami. Now, will he play for another team in Major League Soccer? That's possible. That's possible. The one report said that he is interested in coming to MLS. I did see a report today saying maybe he's an athlete for one more year. I don't know what he wants to do. If he wanted to come to Major League Soccer, he should have done it last summer. That was his time to come over here, and he had all the leverage, and he had some very, very big offers. But he decided to stay in Europe and sign with the reigning Serie A champs, Napoli, instead, leading up into the 2026 World Cup. So that's kind of where we are right now with him. I personally don't see, I definitely don't see him coming to Inter Miami. Major League Soccer, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what his money demands would be right now. Last year, he was winning like $20 million a year. He's not getting anywhere near that this year. He's not getting anywhere near that this year. He had a down season in Serie A. I mean, he didn't play in a couple World Cup games because he got hurt. So I just think his stock is an all-time low when it comes to negotiating with MLS teams. So we'll see. I mean, yes, there'll definitely be teams interested in him. I just personally don't see it. He's not coming into Miami. I would say less than 20% chance he comes to MLS this summer. Okay, next move, Atlanta United. Now, this is a move that opens up a move. We know about Emmanuel Latte-Lott. He was the second most expensive transfer in Major League Soccer history, was first until Son Heung-min got signed last year. And he has been an absolute disaster. We have said this numerous times. It's a fact. He's not good. He was a championship striker whose best season he scored 14 goals, and they paid $22 million for him with add-ons that could have reached to $30 million, which is insane. And now he's going to go on loan for the rest of the season with Union Berlin. And this is a big deal because this is a spot that opens up a spot. So with the loaning of Emmanuel Latte-Lott, Atlanta United now officially have a DP spot open. And I expect them to fully they're definitely going to fill that spot, right? They need to. They have to. They're rudderless right now. Now, they were linked with Darwin Núñez. He looks like he's going to sign with Besiktas, I think, is who he's going to sign with on loan from was it Al Hilal, I think he's playing for right now. Maybe it's Al Nassr. One of the Saudi Arabian teams, but he's going to go on loan with them for a year. So he's out of the picture. He's out of the fold now. They were swinging big. Then they were rumored to be signing Embolo from Switzerland, 29-year-old striker. That was kind of like, okay, that's a good signing. Some people actually maybe preferred him over Darwin Núñez, right? More consistent player. And now it looks like both of those players have fallen between the cracks. And it looks like they have shifted their attention to no other than Romelu Lukaku. This is interesting. Man, talk about, going, just keeps going, gets lower and lower for the expectations of, or the quality of signing. So it says Romelu Lukaku is unlikely to be part of Napoli's project under new head coach Massimiliano Allegri. And the latest reports indicate that MLS side Atlanta United are interested in picking up Belgium's all-time record goal scorer. Lukaku is into the final year of his contract with Napoli and have joined on a 3-year deal from Chelsea during the summer of 2024. He went to play a major role in Napoli's route to the 24-25 Scudetto, but was limited to just 5 league appearances in an injury-ridden campaign in 2025-2026. The 33-year-old is no longer a guaranteed starter at Stadio Maradona, particularly with Rasmus Højlund in the equation, and his agent has recently made it clear that the Belgian isn't the kind of person who stays where he's not wanted. So MLS side, Atlanta United are pushing hard in an attempt to sign Lukaku from Napoli this summer. I mean, how do we go from Darwin Núñez to Romelu Lukaku? I know New York City. I would like him better in New York City than I would Atlanta United. And this just kind of like gets the gears going of like, oh man, this could be just an absolute disaster for Romelu Lukaku. First things first, do I think Romelu Lukaku is good still? I think he could be. He was good in the World Cup. He had like 4 goals, I think, for Belgium. Even if some were off the bench, he was still effective. Okay, so that's number one. Do I think he has quality still? Yes. Number 2, he's 33. He looks like he doesn't take very good care of himself physically, and he only played 5 league games last year. Do we think he's going to be able to play on turf for an entire season in MLS? Turf is brutal for injuries, right? I hate turf. I don't like it for the NFL. I don't like it for soccer. I don't like it at all. I think it's very bad surface to play on that causes a lot of issues. With his injury history, I just think that this would be a perfect nightmare for him to sign with Atlanta United and play on the pitch, on the turf pitch for all season. I just don't think that's going to work out. So this is a signing I would like to see in MLS, but I just don't want to see him play on a turf field. Oh my God. He's got to stay healthy, man. He's got to stay healthy or it's not going to be worth it. 33 years old. I do think he still has some left in the tank, but this just doesn't, this is not stylistically a fit for me. And I feel like Romelu Lukaku on this team doesn't make them better. Now, if he's on New York City FC, which is a team that's already good, I do think maybe he could elevate and make them be the final piece that could help them maybe win an MLS Cup. I don't think that Romelu Lukaku is going to be the guy that saves Atlanta United. I think this would be another disaster signing for the team that they've already made so many that have not worked out. You know, Miguel Almiron's been playing better lately, but he's been bad overall. Emmanuel Latela was bad. Mirchuk has been a disappointment. They have made so many bad signings over the last couple of years. I feel like this would just be the cherry on top of bad signings because it's not a fit and it doesn't make the team better. It doesn't make the team better. It does not make them a contender. So I'm hoping that this is just a report to kind of gain leverage with some of the other guys that they're negotiating with to say like, hey, you know, if you don't sign with us, we got Lukaku in the tuck. We'll sign him instead, which, you know, I don't think any teams are like, oh, Lukaku, you know, I don't think they're paying that too much mind, but maybe they are trying to use this as a negotiation tactic. Chris Henderson is. I'm hoping they sign Mbolo. I think he's probably my favorite realistic target that I've seen that they have. I would have liked to see Darwin Núñez too, but it just doesn't seem like he really wants to go to MLS at this point. Hey, everyone, quick word from our sponsor, FanDuel. If you're into soccer like I am, you already know how exciting La Liga, the Premier League, and MLS matches can get. With FanDuel, you can make it even more fun by placing bets on your favorite teams and matches across all three leagues. Whether it's a Premier League showdown, a La Liga thriller, or an MLS game with your local club, FanDuel makes it easy and exciting to bet on what you watch. Just remember, you have to be 21 years or older to play. Please bet responsibly and only if you're of legal age and in a state where it's allowed. Download the FanDuel app or head over to FanDuel.com, sign up, and get in on the action. Thanks for supporting the channel through FanDuel. So we'll keep an eye on this, but man, I really hope that they don't sign Romelu Lukaku. I would love to see him go somewhere else and them to sign a striker who's younger, more, they can be more counted on to help lead the team and help them make a playoff push. I just don't think you could count on Romelu Lukaku for that at 33 years old with his injury history. Okay, next thing. Now, this is a big deal for Major League Soccer, and this kind of continues the trend of Sellers League, right? So David Ornstein, we'd heard that there's been reports about this getting done. David Ornstein reported yesterday that Hull City has reached an agreement with the Colorado Rapids to sign Lucas Herrington. Deal for 18-year-old defender is worth $17 million plus $6 million in add-ons and a 15% future sell-on profit to the Colorado Rapids. No issues expected on the personal terms for Australians international. Hull City move from Colorado to Hull City. Okay, so this right here is just absolute shrewd business for the Colorado Rapids. I mean, Lucas Herrington just signed with the team last year and then made the move to the team this year. He signed in 2025, and he didn't actually make his debut for the Rapids until 2026 because he wasn't old enough. I think he had to wait till he was 18 years old, and so they only paid. Listen, he played pretty decently for the Rapids. He only played 18 games, and he did play for Australia. He's got a very high ceiling. He's 6'4". He's a big center back. But, man, talk about, like I said, shrewd business by the Rapids. I mean, this is what MLS needs to be doing. They need to be signing more players like this, these young guys. I mean, look at this. They paid $900,000 or euros for Lucas Herrington in September of 2025. And not even a year later, they're flipping him for $17 million. $17 million. Plus $6 million on add-ons and a 15% sell-on clause. They absolutely got a steal on this. I mean, this is a lot of money that just got injected back into the club if they're willing to spend it. This is the model MLS should be doing. They need to be signing these young guys, playing them, and hopefully being able to flip them for something like this. I mean, this reminds me of the John Duran signing in MLS a couple years back. Now, Jean Duran, I think, played in MLS a little bit longer than Lucas Herrington, maybe a year, 2 years in MLS. But in 2022, they bought him for, I think, $1 or $2 million. No, £1.5 million what they bought him for. And then they ended up selling him to Aston Villa for 15 million pounds. And then they had a sell-on clause. So when he got sold to Al Nassr, for 64 million pounds. They also got, I think, like 10% of that. So this is just good business on the Rapids' behalf. And I hope that we see this more frequently in Major League Soccer. I really do. I mean, this is the model that we need to be following. We need to be buying young players with high upsides and trying to flip them. I mean, this is when's the last time an MLS center back ever sold for 17 million plus 6 million add-ons? I mean, if you even look at the record transfers, I don't even think, I mean, he's got to be up there for just transfers in general of sold players. I know Miguel Almiron is the most expensive sell of all time for MLS. I mean, we'll look at it here in a second. He's definitely the most expensive sell. So Jean Durant, actually, he's third now. So John Duran, we sold to Aston Villa, is actually 30 million euros because I think the add-ons and stuff. So the Fire made 30 million euros off of Jean Duran, and then Thiago Almada was sold to Botafogo for 24 million, but they haven't received the money yet for that, so that's an issue. Miguel Miron sold for 24 million euros. Tati Castellanos was almost 19 million to Lazio. Pepe was 17 million almost, yeah, and so on. So Jordi Petrovic, God's name I haven't heard in a while, sold to Chelsea for 16 million. So there's been some good sells in the last, a lot of these were the last couple years outside of Miguel Miron, right? So MLS has been out, exporting talent for a decent price the last couple years. But if you'll notice, all these guys are attackers or goalkeepers, except for Alphonso Davies, but he was a winger for the Whitecaps, and he ends up playing left back for Bayern Munich. So this is the most expensive center back signing or sell in MLS history. I mean, I can look it up positionally and see before who the most expensive center back ever sold was in MLS history. Let's see here. Before this, the most expensive was Bombito, Moise Bombito. He sold for 7 million to Nice. 7 million. So this is almost tripled the last big sell of a center back for an MLS team. So this is a good trend for MLS. They're exporting talent. They're selling guys for high prices. And especially the salary cap increases and the quality of the league increases, I expect that to just keep going up. It's only going to keep going up in MLS, which is a great thing. You want to be a league of choice, but you also want to be able to show that you can sell players and that you can you're producing talent that is desirable by other big leagues. So that's a good positive development. That's a very, very good positive development. Next thing, another Hull City update was Marco Pasalic. Now, Marco Pasalic was a signing by Orlando City last year. He replaced Facundo Torres. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but I think it was 2025. He replaced Facundo Torres, and he's been decent for them, on and off for the Orlando City. Mostly it's been Martin Ojeda, and now they have Antoine Griezmann. He's not really in the cards. Like, he's not really in need anymore. Like, he's expendable, I guess what I'm trying to say. And they reported that Hull City are in advanced talks with Orlando City to sign him, but they try to get him on loan, and Orlando City, no, we don't want to loan him. We want to sell him outright. If you want him, you got to buy him, okay? So they're trying to open up, and this is a big deal for Orlando City too, because they've been playing well outside their last game. But if they open up this spot, this will give them another DP spot. And he's got 43 appearances and 14 goals for Orlando City in his time. He did sign in 2025. But this would open up a DP spot for Orlando City if they are able to sell Marco Pasalic. And that would help because they can start to build around Antoine Griezmann and Martin Ojeda. And that helps give them a lot of flexibility to add another big player, which I expect that they would do if they're able to sell Marco Pasalic. And listen, it's only August 3rd. There's still a lot of time left for teams to acquire players, and there's going to be a lot of business done this month. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts. Some of these teams might look a lot different by the end of this month. And Orlando City, they're trying to make a push for a playoff spot, right? They're trying to make a push for a playoff spot. They're trying to rebound their season after such a horrible start. And they're currently in 10th place right now. And they're trying, like I said, to make the playoffs. They're in a good position to be able to do that still. So they're offloading people they don't see a future with. And Marco Pasalic is only 25 years old. He'll be 26 next month. He's still very young. Now, I don't know what exactly they're trying to sell him for. His market value right now, according to Transfer Market, it's about 6.5 million euros. Orlando City paid 4.8 for him. So I'm not sure exactly what they're asking for him, but either way, as long as they don't take a loss and they can open up a DP spot, I think they're very content to try to move him before the transfer window closes. So we'll see what happens with that. But listen, there are a lot of moving parts. The Galaxy are apparently going to sign a DP. Will Kuntz said that they have a DP signing that should be arriving this week. We have no idea who it's going to be. There's been rumors about possibly Martinez from Palmeiras. I don't know if that's true. We'll find out this week and see who they end up signing. But there's a lot of moving parts. The transfer season really is just now starting. It's going to be very hectic between now and September 1st. This is the most exciting time for me, especially seeing all these big moves for some of these teams. So we'll monitor that. There's a lot of teams that haven't made any moves yet. I expect that to change. LAFC have a DP spot open. We'll see if they fill that vacancy this summer transfer window. There's just so many things left in the air, or they're up in the air, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens before the roster freeze date, September 14th, I think is when that normally is, closes, and teams cannot add any other players. Who do you think has had the best offseason, or I keep calling it offseason because it's the summer? Who has had the best summer transfer window so far in Major League Soccer? Let me know down below what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. And don't forget, MLS Moves was presented by FanDuel.